Now yield to Ranking Member Kuster for any opening remarks she may have.
Thank you very much, Chairman Kaufman and Chairman Abraham and Ranking Member Titus, who will be with us shortly, for holding this hearing on Gulf War veterans. As I have said during our hearing on Gulf War illness last month, in the 25 years since the end of the Gulf War, many veterans have suffered from symptoms that are not readily identifiable or well understood, and still struggle to receive compensation for their illness. During our hearing, the previous hearing, we heard from medical experts, researchers, and Undersecretary Clancy, and they all agreed that the symptoms of Gulf War illness vary and that research must continue so that we can better understand and treat our veterans suffering from unexplained medical conditions associated with their Gulf War deployment. In 1998, Congress passed the Persian Gulf War Veterans Act, which granted veterans who served in the Persian Gulf during the first Gulf War a presumption of service connection for their illnesses associated with their service. This gave our Gulf War veterans compensation for their illness and access to VA medical care to treat their symptoms. This change reflects our belief that veterans should not be denied disability compensation or access to VA health care because their symptoms may vary or because it's not fully understood what caused Gulf War illness or other unexplained symptoms. But 18 years later, we continue to receive reports that veterans suffering from Gulf War illness and other unexplained medical conditions are improperly denied VA compensation for not being able to establish a service connection when they were deployed to the Persian Gulf. Each time this happens, another veteran is being denied the compensation and health care that this nation owes to them, and this is simply unacceptable. We have also received reports that as a cohort, Gulf War veterans have a higher disability claim denial rate, higher than our OEF and OIF veterans. This is why I am concerned about the end of the Gulf War presumption of services connection this year. I'm concerned that veterans who may have been improperly denied compensation and health care by the VA will not have a chance to submit a claim after this point. I'm also concerned that veterans who became sick later in life due to their deployment will be unable to receive compensation or VA health care. The VA has extended this presumption period once, but now it's up to Congress to decide if another extension is necessary. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses today about whether another extension is warranted and necessary, and I also want to know what needs to be done to improve the disability claims process for Gulf War veterans. I want to know if Veterans Benefits Administration employees are properly trained to rate Gulf War veterans' claims, and how can we improve the quality of the claims rated so that veterans are not forced to appeal their claim every time. And with that, Chairman Kaufman, I yield back.
Thank you, Ranking Member Kuster. I ask that all